We will not copyright or trademark that. We do not have the rights to this at all. Please do not sue us. Thank you.
Welcome to These Unprecedented Gays, featuring Joe Granelli and Paul Smith. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and review wherever you stream your podcasts. Check us out on Instagram at tugayspod and email us at tugayspod@yahoo.com. We hope you enjoy.
That does that song?
No.
What?
No, that's for you. Because you know all that. The only thing I know is like that song pumped the fuck out of me when I was like in 5th grade basketball.
Because it's sports jams. It's all sports jam. It's by Two Unlimited.
That was the only memory I remember from like basketball in grade school in 5th grade because I sucked. But they would do that in like the beginning like practice whatever sports stuff, right? Like warm up. There we go. Yeah. And they would like play that, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm a sports person." And I was like, "I don't know how to shoot a basket, but I'm gonna run."
12-year-old Joe over here, 10-year-old Joe, like,
cool. It was.
Do I look good in this tank top?
It was bad. Oh my god, I was so gay when I was in the like t-ball, right? Like Little League or whatever.
Yeah. When you do t-ball, you're doing lacrosse right now.
Well, I'm like, see, this is why I don't sports. Whatever.
He used to do t-ball. Now he does t-bag
with my asshole. Yes.
Okay, but remember how great this album is from Space Jam?
That's not the Space Jam song.
No, yes,
but Space Jam album was great because it had like so many great ones. But like, if you look up Jock
song,
Jams,
that song's not
Jock
a Space
Jams,
Jam song.
Like, yeah, Space Jam was still really good though.
It was. I mean. But
Jock Jams was like where you get really into it. So Two Unlimited, get ready for this is the number. Like Tag Team, whoop, there it is. That's like
yes,
Who are the 69 Boys?
Oh, but 69 Boys are from 69 Boys in 95.
Let me see you Tootsie Roll.
Tootsie Roll, yeah. Because 69 Boys and 95 South all came from Miami. So that's when I was living in Florida. So I was very happy about that.
So you were repping. Your
I used to
county.
love these were all my songs though.
This album should have been Paul's jams.
Exactly, because I'm like Gonna Make You Sweat, Hip Hop Hooray.
I love Gonna Make You Sweat.
Snap the Power, Unbelievable by EMF.
Dun, 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 dun.
I've got the power. I love EMF. I thought they were.
That's a good one.
And Technotronic. I used to love Technotronic.
Oh, Pump Up the Jam.
Pump Up the Jam.
That song will always remind me of my friend Sarah Walsh, where she would make me burned CDs. Like, this is throwing it back, and she would like. She had like this weird obsession with kittens, and it'd be like Kittens Volume 1, and she would.
So I found in my closet out in the garage a stack of burnable CDs.
Are you gonna make us some mixed CDs? Let's do it. But I don't even know how you would anymore because like
no drives on it.
You can't. Well,
you can't do it.
You can't burn. Like I don't know, but you can't burn. You'd have to buy the song and own the song because like if you stream it, I don't think you can burn a streamed song.
No, it has to be a stored file. So
right.
You'd have to be able to download it.
Yeah.
In a format that you.
So we're doing some BitTorrenting or whatever.
I used to have one of those like.
Oh my god!
I bought one of those machines where it was like two. It was like the burning section and then where you put the CD in. So you would have to you were making a mixtape, so you would have to take it out
because you'd have to wait for it to actually play through the song.
Right. It was crazy.
Honestly, I feel like we had you had a little more effort with some of the media, but even burnt CDs, you had to wait. It wasn't instant. It's I'm going to make you a CD, and it was very involved, and it was actually a very caring gift that you would give.
Well, and not only that, but you could buy a stack of 50, and 30 of those were good.
Yeah,
because you'd put them in, and it's not reading or it's not burning correctly, or something happened.
And then God forbid, because it's I remember it was CDR or RW. Yes! And what do I want?
Because you got a CDR, which is supposed to be one time, but the RW was rewritable.
Right.
But they didn't work.
They didn't work.
No, not a good technology. Not a good technology.
So do you remember when you had CDs and they get all scratched?
Yes.
And then there was this tool you could buy that would actually scrub the plastic. Like,
yeah.
It was this thing. It would spin and it would like abrade,
I don't remember
abrade
that.
the plastic so that it would remove all the scratches. So you had this CD that didn't work anymore, and all of a sudden it would work.
So it wouldn't skip?
Yeah, so it wouldn't skip.
I don't remember that. Oh
It's not like when you would play your PlayStations, you would have to blow into the.
Oh my god. we listen. Times were different back in the day. The kids, they got it good.
Yeah, they got it
You
good.
just
We were
press
just
your
watching
button.
a Christmas show where they were playing the game and they did that. It was like, oh yeah, that's how.
Oh, it was 8-bit Christmas.
Yes.
I love that so much.
I don't think I've seen that one.
MPH.
Like, where they would play a Nintendo game and you'd have to blow into the Nintendo game.
Oh, I remember that.
to,
Yes.
yeah.
To try and get it to work.
And you just did it by habit after a while. You didn't even.
Then you just wanted to blow.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just. This is preparation for all of our blow jobs.
Well, exactly. I was like, I like a nice blow, and you can get me to work. I'm Paul.
And I'm Joe.
And we're these unprecedented gays.
Yay, you got your name right.
I know.
All it took was for you to go down under.
Even though I'm still so jet lagged.
But so you guys don't look jet lagged, and I feel like jet lag is very bad. So you're doing well.
Yeah, no, we're doing good. We're pushing through. When we get those feelings, we just push through and like don't worry about it. But it was just like I noticed the first 2 days I was back. I was like, around a certain time, I would get really tired.
What time was it?
At like 10 o'clock at night. 10 o'clock in the morning.
Right. It's so crazy.
And I was like, oh my God, can I make it through the day? I don't know.
You're like, I still have like 12 hours of the day left.
Right. So I'm like, but then I was like, okay, no, I gotta push through, and then I would, and it's like, okay.
It takes a long time to recover too.
Yeah.
Because you guys got back Sunday?
We got back Sunday.
Yeah.
So, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about the rest of our trip. But, so my week this week, even though you didn't ask, it's okay. I'm just going to get into it anyway.
Yeah, you tell me, girl. You got the mic.
It's actually been this, very relaxed and stuff because I'm just getting back into work. One of the girls at work is, having surgery. So, I'm covering for her at the desk now. So I'm there all day. Just
customer facing, right?
Huh?
Customer facing?
Customer facing.
Oh my God, girl, how are you doing that jet lag?
It's kind of funny because it's really cool because I can I told my coworker, I'm like, oh my God, it's just because I've been gone for 2 weeks and I'm still jet lagged. Like, I only have a couple more days where I can use that excuse. So I'm going to milk it. Okay? Just call me Bessie because I am milking this cow.
It's going to be
That's
July
right,
and you'll be
Bessie.
like, jet lag.
Exactly.
You have long lag.
And then I was trying to make an appointment for someone, and I'm so out of whack, and I'm like, I am so sorry. I just got back from vacation yesterday. I was gone for 2 weeks. She's like, oh, where'd you go? And I'm like, oh, we went to Australia and New Zealand. She's like, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. So we started talking about it, and it's great, So
it's a conversation piece.
It's a conversation piece.
There you go.
So, but other than that, it's just getting into the swing of things, and we didn't have any food in the house, so we were eating, takeout for the first couple of days, and then Andy's finally I'm going to go to the grocery store and actually buy groceries.
We still had yet to go. Nick doesn't grocery shop, but I have yet to go grocery shopping, and I'm just do I have food? No.
See, I'm the same way. I don't really like grocery shopping, so Andy does it for us because he likes to, and I think it's also for him, it's easier if we both don't go because I'm very let's hurry up and go and get out and get what we need and let's go. Where Andy likes to let me look over this aisle. Maybe I can sell something over this aisle.
Are you a browser?
I'm a browser too.
Well, I don't go in with a plan.
Yes.
I go in with a
Certain
plan.
things I go in with. But
I go on the plan.
if we go to Costco, I want to browse around.
Yes.
That's different. If I need to get daily grocery or groceries that serve a purpose, I'm in, I'm out, and I'm leaving.
Paul walking through the door of Costco is I'm stressed. Let's get out.
It's true because there's so many people, and my anxiety is so high. But I'm also I'm also okay. I just watched the deal guy on YouTube, and I know which things that out of the 10 things I should buy at Costco this month, that I want to go check out.
Wait, so what should we be buying this month?
I haven't actually watched that one yet.
I love you.
I love when he does that.
Oh,
he ends every video with "I love you." Have a great week.
And he's cute.
He's a little cutie, right? I know. So anyway, the last 5 weeks. How's your week, Joe?
Well, we were also boring. We on this weekend had like a legitimate lazy weekend where I was like
48 hours.
we don't want to do anything cuz like I have been all over the damn country. Have I? Yeah,
Hey,
I was in
crisscross,
Cleveland.
yeah.
Like I was in Cleveland, I got back. I went back to Cleveland, I got back. Then we went to Vegas, then I got back.
California.
Then it was in Northern California, then I was back. Then we were in New York. And New York, like that was a fun trip. So it was fun to go. But then we get back and you're just like, oh my god, a whirlwind. So like this weekend I was just like, I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
And let us just exist. I don't know, did we watch any movies? I think legit, like, it was just, I watched Designated Survivor.
Designated
Designated
Survivor.
Survivor is so good.
And I definitely, like, I'm like, I kind of want to be in government now.
Well, like,
So the
I
worst
don't,
thing
but
though is
yes.
you watch like 4 episodes in a row, and then all of a sudden you go off the plane into like security, and you're going, "Oh, there's a conspiracy."
Right? Okay.
That's how Joe feels.
Okay. 100%. And I consume like political media on the World Wide Web, and like I'm like, is this all like a conspiracy to cover up things? And then like, what is this? But then like with that bridge collapse, like Biden had like issued a response, and I was like, Kiefer did the same thing at another problem that they were having, and I was like, I get it now. Listen, if it educates me on government, I will take it.
okay, can I just tell you, Andy watched so many of those.
Did you watch the first season?
After our recording in Sydney, he started watching it like when we got
so
to Melbourne,
good.
and then he
It's
was like,
so good.
"Do you want to watch one with me?" And then we like, he would just start watching one every day or more. And I'm like,
I made it
I'm
through the
about-
first season.
I'm
yeah.
about 10 or 11 in.
Oh yeah, they're so easy too, because like you get through it, and like some of them you don't need a lot of like watch what is it like
don't
giving
need-
effort to,
right, yeah.
where it's like you can kind of have it on, but like it's like encapsulating where like I need to watch this.
Well,
So what's amazing with Paul is he wasn't even watching in some cases. He was over like doing something on his tablet and listening, and he would know what's going on better than I did. Like,
I was like, "Oh my god!" So they found her boyfriend, and he's dead. And he was like, "Who's her boyfriend?" I was like, "Scott, the one they were just talking about." He
Girl,
was like,
I don't know their names.
What?
Kiefer Sutherland is president, and he's got wife girl, and like
but it's
that's
very
it.
24.
Well, and that's
it's
the
a
Joe needs to watch
formula.
24. He's
So
never
I
watched
haven't
24
seen
yet.
24.
So if you like that, you'll like 24.
That's what we.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has the
Steve's
same kind of
too.
vibe, that intensity.
It's
and
really
it always
good.
ends in something that makes you want to watch the next one.
Well, because they like that was back. I feel like TV in the 2016s was like very well done, because they like the best part about this series is it is 24 episodes per season, as opposed to like now you get like maybe 8
yeah.
to like 10, and I'm like, give me more, like just like Brittany said.
And even that follows the 24, because the 24 book is a day. So each
Oh, it's a
episode
book.
is 1 hour. No, like their playbook.
Right. Oh,
it's-
okay.
Each series is 1 day,
Oh,
and each episode is 1 hour of that
Of
day.
the
so
day.
you're seeing what's happening unfolding over the course of
24 hours.
how many
Yeah.
seasons is that?
Like 7?
6 or 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'll add it to my list.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Girl, no, like
We have so much. To
I
watch.
hyperfix. I like when I get like I hyperfixate. Although I lost access to ghosts. Like I had up until like the episode where he like does the Dungeons and Dragons battle or whatever, and then I don't know if it logged out of something. So I need to ask my mom what her login credentials are. Because Ghost was good. Ghost was fun. But yeah, no. So very, 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 very lazy week. And
I watched
then
Oppenheimer finally. You guys have seen it.
We're halfway through it.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten back to it.
I watched Oppenheimer and The Holdovers.
Wonka's.
The
And
Holdovers
Wonka.
was so
I
good.
watched 3 movies in one day.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was like, well, that was our lazy day.
That
Like
was our
we
lazy day.
like, and I think it was it raining that day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like gloomy. And
Yeah.
it was like, this is the weather.
But like the Holdovers was really good.
I loved it.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And Wonka made me happy.
Yeah, it's like one of those movies where like the conflict is like cute Does it make, like, it's not very stressful. It's not Oppenheimer.
It's not.
So you can just kind of like, oh, he's getting bamboozled by the other chocolatiers. Okay, like, let's watch this.
It's
you know?
easy and light and just, turn your brain off, but it still keeps you... It's a lot of nice, bright colors.
We
and
chuckled
things.
the whole time watching
We did.
It's so cute.
Okay, maybe I'll watch it.
It's worth it.
Is it short? Like
It's a 2-hour.
2 hour? Okay.
But it's cute. It doesn't feel
But
2
I
hours.
will not be watching
It is
Oppenheimer.
not Dune 2, okay?
Did you watch
I want to
Dune
watch
2?
that too.
No.
I will not. You
I
can't
can't.
pay
I couldn't
me.
even watch Dune 1.
Girl.
We went to the first one, and Joe's like, I never want to watch.
We
the
did not go
movie
to the first one. We watched it, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, I appreciate the like sci-fi like stuff, but like, good God, it was so slow.
So, to be fair, I've heard people say like when they gave it a second chance, they really liked it.
I think
I'm not
I
ready to
was
give it a
bamboozled
second
because
chance.
I was looking for Zendaya, and she was in like the last 1 minute.
So at the National Gallery of Victoria in Melbourne, outside they have a lot of like different artwork, and one of them looked like the sandworm from Dune. We were like, "Oh look, they got the popcorn thing."
Oh my God! You mean the fleshlight for the popcorn?
Yeah.
The popcorn fleshlight. I mean, that's real. So yeah, not much to really phone home about. I'm glad that we are back and don't have to. I'm glad I don't have to go anywhere, and I'm glad that I'm just like home for a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you guys are back. It's good to see you guys.
Yeah.
So tell us the rest of your travels.
I know, but we have to do.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Let's do our segment first.
Jesus, do I have one?
You better
Did I
have one.
forget? Oh no, I do. I do.
That means it's time for mouth to mouth. Mouth to mouth resuscitation. So what are you obsessed with, Joe?
I forgot about wrote these down. So I sent you these. So it mostly is like Instagram funny memes. And the first one is like all the misheard lyrics of like stuff where it's like, I was today years old when I learned about this. And so one of them was Rihanna's The Monster song where it's like, and that's not fair, but it's actually, and that's nothing. And I'm like, oh my God, I've got these songs all wrong. And the other one that I saw was Kevin Little's Turn Me On. And like, don't know the words to that one, but the lyrics are not what you think. Like he talks about
They're kind of dirty, right? Like,
well, here, hold on, turn me on. He talks about like something his python. He goes like, where is it?
Got my python hollering for mercy, yeah. Then I whisper in her ear, so one.
Yeah, he's like, one hand on the ground and bumper cock sky high, whining hard on me, got my python. And I'm like, I thought it was, it's
a dirty song.
And I'm like, I guess I didn't know the words to that one. So those two things, and then also I saw like algorithms. I hate them, but I love them because I saw one video and it was like farts after colonoscopies.
oh my God.
And like they were just glorious because like they were so like loud and like echoey, and then that's all that was showing up on my For You page, and I was just watching people farting, and it was like really funny.
okay, so like when I got my gallbladder taken out, like they had to fill me up with gas. So afterwards, when I woke up from like the anesthesia and stuff, they were like, "Okay, you need to walk around." I was like, "What the fuck?" Because I was in pain. But also,
He does not handle anesthesia well.
no. And they go, "You have to walk around so you can fart, so you get the gas out."
Oh no!
Because like it
Were they big?
I mean, you know.
Were they-
Just an average day in Paulina.
I mean,
can't
but
really-
like these, and it's like petite women, and the sounds that come out of them, you're like, what the fuck? So that's not on my algorithm anymore.
Now some people that might be somebody's fetish though.
Hey, it made me laugh. Like I was like crying from laughter because farts are always funny to me, not to Nick, but to me. So those are my obsessions.
I am okay. So, like my obsessions for this week, I have a couple. So the first one is I think I might have talked about this already when we were in Australia, but when we went to Anne Juliet at the theater, they had this soap, and it was by a company called Leif, L-E-I-F, and it was like Buddha hand or something like that. I forget what it was called, but it was like sandalwood and orange.
Oh,
And it was the best smelling. Like Andy and I like kept like talking about this and everything
Soap?
about how we love the soap and
We were
the
like this the whole time.
yeah. We were like watching and Juliet. We were like Molly Shannon.
Did you buy some of it?
So I was able to finally order it online. I found a way to order it, so it is going to be here by the end of the week.
What brand is it?
Leaf, Leif.
Okay, is it Australian?
It is Australian.
Okay.
So, and that's the other thing. I was like, I'm obsessed with like trying to find some of the stuff that I liked in Australia and trying to find it here in the States, or if I can order it.
Have you been successful?
Only with the soap. So
Oh. Even
the-
on like online, nothing online.
no, nothing online. Like the water that I liked.
We know where to get Maltesers.
Yes, I know where to get Maltesers.
So let me tell you the water story. So they made this New Zealand bottled water, and they made a normal still one, and then they had one called lightly sparkling,
Okay.
and it was everywhere. You know,
Okay.
it was like the Desante of
Yeah.
New Zealand, and he loved this water, and it was cheap. So he wants to have a case of it shipped now. He's like, I looked online to see if I could get the water sent here. Like, you're going to spend $100 to ship.
And you can't find
why is it
it.
$100 to
Absolutely.
ship?
Absolutely.
Okay. So
Is it because it's
This was
the
really
like
popular.
the
because
just
it
so far?
Yeah, yeah, it would cost a lot to ship it. But
And
okay,
that
so
one
this
too.
one is really good. It's called Antipod, and that's a really good brand. Can you find that? How much is that? Oh, for still, I don't like.
It's
still. I want-
$52 per
I want
liter.
Spring. And it's cute because they come in like glass jars,
I mean,
and the
it's
glass jars are really
sustainable.
cute.
Yeah.
And then, so it's called Johnson River, and they're owned by Coca-Cola Company in Australia, but you can't get it here in the States. And you can't get the chips that I love.
So, because Dasani is also owned by Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, yeah.
It's better than Dasani then.
Oh, definitely.
Because thank God.
Definitely. And I just like that it says lightly sparkling, so I don't get all gassy after I drink it.
And you don't fart.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like your personality, lightly sparkling.
I'm lightly sparkling.
But that's I guess that makes sense why it costs so much to ship for just like the logistics
yeah,
of it.
logistically,
That sucks.
yeah. I know.
Probably because it's a food product, it might be hard to get in.
Oh, does it have to go through like import stuff?
Probably,
I don't
yeah.
know.
I don't know.
Oh, I haven't. Listen, I am not a logistics distributor. I have no
So
idea.
anyway, and then we are loving our Whitaker's chocolates that we brought back with us, the Hokey Pokey Crunch. And we were at the, and I also bought Andy 2 tins of canned butter from New
What?
Zealand.
New Zealand butter.
Oh, I guess if it's canned, it's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't need to be refrigerated
And
when you open it.
it is still, I
That
don't know,
is
we haven't.
so canned butter.
Yeah, so the butter that we had in New Zealand was very, very good.
Okay.
We haven't tried these two yet, but like I bought a bag of the brown rolls from Cheesecake Factory that you get. You can buy them at Vons.
Oh,
so I'm like, I
yes.
want to try those with that butter.
Yes.
So-
I think that's actually really smart though to get it in a can because then it just stays.
yeah, and like
indefinitely.
we bought it at the airport, so I was like, okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
So I'm going to use one of them for baking something. We'll see.
Ooh. I will be awaiting that.
And there are 2 different kinds, and we're not
Yes.
sure what the difference is. Like one might be extra creamy or something. We don't know yet.
Is one?
Well, let the
butter?
listeners know.
Is one salted or no?
They're both salted.
Oh, really? Maybe it's just different cows.
They're both salty.
Yeah, lightly
salty.
Lightly. Oh my god, what was this? What was it
Lightly
that you just-
sparkling?
Sparkling. Oh my god. Whoa.
Okay, so now we can get into the rest of the trip. All right.
Yes.
So
Spill
when
it.
we did this, we were leaving Melbourne. The last episode, we were leaving Melbourne.
You
and
were
going to
on. You were
Auckland.
getting ready to go to the airport.
Yeah. So we went to the airport. I will suggest to people flying within, in New Zealand. I wasn't a fan of Rex.
What's
I'm
Rex?
sorry. Rex was one of their budget flight things.
Australia, not New Zealand.
Australian.
Was it bad?
airlines? It's okay. I mean, it was
the
just
Southwest Airlines. So
Okay.
I would say more like Frontier.
Oh.
it was not. I had a different experience.
Okay. I think for me it was like because there wasn't enough communication about why the plane was late.
Oh.
And as it was getting later, they didn't really give us any explanation.
So
as
you got to
why.
the airport with enough time, and then it was like, "Where's the plane?"
Correct.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So anyway, so we get to Auckland. Auckland is beautiful. People are super, super nice. Like we had such a good time. We got there kind of late, so we didn't get in until like 10:30 or so.
Oh, wow.
And then we went straight to the hotel.
Okay.
Again, just like in Australia, everything closes at like 5 or 6. So,
This is Joe's ideal life.
yeah.
No, it's not, because I do, like, that's like the perfect time to do your errands at 5.
So we had a good time. The first full day that we were there, we didn't really do anything. We kind of just like walked around and checked out the city and stuff. We were able to find out.
Tower.
We went up the Sky Tower, the Auckland Tower there.
Okay,
And
you guys, like, it was too much for me because we had just gone to the like edge thing, and then you're like, look at where we are, and then the guy like jumped off the fucking building.
We're just talking about like standing on the glass and looking down. It was scary.
It's kind of a mindfuck because you're like, I know I'm safe, but you're like, what if I'm the one person that falls and this is like an engineering marvel that fails?
there you go.
It's very
Like
rare.
a bridge collapsing.
Right.
Right. So we didn't know that one of the people were like, oh, they're about to jump off the building. And we're like, what? So like you could do a sky jump where you jump off of the Auckland Tower. So it was really cool because we were able to see somebody do that and get video of it.
And so are they, because I couldn't tell in the video, but are they like on a line?
Yeah. They're strapped in and they fall. They're between two lines with
And it's not a
Oh my
bungee. It
God.
guides you directly down to like a landing pad below.
I would totally do this.
Would you?
No.
Yes.
Oh no.
I feel
If
like
it's not a bungee, because the bungee part, I don't love the idea of like going down and coming back up and then down and back
Yeah,
up.
no, it just lets you down.
But if it's just like, I'm going to jump and then I'm going to land.
but how do you slow down?
It slows it down for you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you're going to get the full experience of falling, but then
At
Oh.
a rope and you go.
Because I'm like, I know how gravity works. Like,
well, like
you go quick.
Yeah, but like they have to control it because they can't just like let you go and then let you fall
And then splat.
because it'll snap your entire body from
Right.
inertia.
Oh,
So,
okay. So they control, basically,
yeah.
it's like you're out and then it's like boom.
and it's a lot of fun. I will say, like Auckland does have a lot of hills,
Oh.
so it was not made for older big people to be walking around.
But were you in the downtown?
Yeah, we were in.
Okay.
Within 2 blocks of the coast.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we were able to find everything. We found some really great Chinese places. We found a really great dumpling noodle place that
Oh, I
was
love dumplings.
obviously very popular because, like, we were done and, like, not even 10 minutes when Andy went to go to the bathroom. Like, he's like, are you done? And, like, yeah. And she's, like, started cleaning the table. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, so you want me to leave.
It's very New York of them to do that.
Right, but it was like I always tell people, I'm like, if you go to a restaurant that has a specific type of ethnic cuisine, if there's a lot of those people within that restaurant, that means it's a good place.
That was like when we went to Dim Sum in New York and they pumped you out.
Right,
But it was so good.
and it was like a lot of Asians who were in
Yep.
the restaurant, and so
Yep.
that was how it was for us. Because we're like,
It was
We
amazing.
looked in and we're like, oh, this place is busy and it's
Authentic.
all Asian, so let's go.
Yeah. Was the food good?
That was spectacular.
It was
And cheap.
spectacular. It's very cheap.
Did you guys put your feet in the water? Was it cold down there?
We put our feet in the water in Melbourne when we went to the beach, and Bondi. But not in Auckland, I don't
Okay.
And
think.
the water was cold. I mean, and Auckland's a little bit warmer because it's a little closer to the equator, but still pretty cool. Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't swim weather there.
Yeah.
So is that still I'm looking on a map, so is that still the Pacific Ocean?
The
Or the South Ocean?
between Auckland and Australia or New Zealand and Australia is the Strait of Tasman or something.
Oh yeah, the Tasman Sea. Okay.
or the Tasman Sea.
Interesting.
But beyond it, on the other side is the Pacific.
yeah, how interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
You know,
That's why I
Australia
asked.
is the size of America. If
Are you
laid-
serious?
If you laid it out, east to west is like going from the east coast to the west coast in the U.S. And north to south, like Texas all the way to Toronto, to the
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know Australia was that big.
Yeah, you don't.
But
think
it's all
about it.
wild, wild land,
It's
right?
more a grower than a shower.
Well, they don't have a big population. I thought
They
Australia
don't
doesn't.
because they have a lot of their populations are, especially in like New Zealand, even so in New Zealand, like they're concentrated in the city. So like
Yeah.
Sydney, Brisbane,
Yeah.
Melbourne,
They said something like 40 or 50% of the population of New Zealand's in Auckland.
in Auckland. And
Wow.
then everything else is just countryside and beautiful countryside at that.
Yeah.
Well, that's where the hobbits live.
Well, yeah, because we went to Hobbiton, which was fantastic. And I will, little tip for you. If
I love you in the tub.
I love you in the door. Hello.
Hi,
Oh
welcome to my
God.
crib.
Right, so you had to hear this setup. We're in a group of like 25.
Yeah,
no,
20
40
people.
Like there were 40 people in our group going through.
Oh, yeah, because they had to break it up into two groups.
So, so we go to they just opened this part where you can walk inside the little Hobbit hole.
Okay.
That only opened in December, so we got pretty, new to and it was a very cool part of the visit.
Nice. Okay.
They tell us they're going to split us into two groups because there's two of them and they're kind of identical. You can go through either one; it's the same
The
experience.
show models, yeah.
So yeah, it's model home. So Paul's telling all the other people in our group, "Oh, I got to go last because I have this thing I want to do," and that made everybody like curious about what the hell are we going to do.
Well, okay, he made it sound like I'm like, and I'm like, okay, you just go ahead. There's something I've been thinking about that I want to kind of do. So if you please, if I could be last, that'd be
There
great.
was
So go
nobody
ahead.
in our group that didn't know that he wanted to go last.
So we finally.
All the other 19 people.
I know. I'm like, Andy, okay, count to 3, and then you can start recording, okay? And then I'm going to do what I got to do. And so I walk in, and I'm like, the tour guide's in there, and she's holding the door open. And I'm like, can I just do this real quick? And she's like, yeah, just don't close it all the way. And I'm like, all right. So I count to 3, I open it, and I go, oh, hi. Welcome to my crib. Come on in. And if you watch the video, you can actually hear people laughing at the end,
Oh my God.
giggling, because like everybody on the inside was laughing
Because they knew what you were going to do.
Yeah.
Because they were part of your plan. They were co-conspirators.
And he was the leader. Like he got in the tub. 3 other people got in the tub after.
Together?
Rub-a-dub-dub.
There was no room in that tub.
I
was
barely
gonna
got
say-
out of the tub.
So is that the actual... I was going to ask you,
No.
are these the place they filmed at?
So, well, yes, for The Hobbit, not for
not for Lord of the Rings?
Not for Lord of the Rings.
It's the place, it's the location. But for Lord of the Rings, they built it as temporary sets.
Oh.
So when they rebuilt it for The Hobbit, they decided to make them permanent.
So they become an attraction.
But they matched exactly what they did
Right.
from the designs. From
And so,
Lord
and
of
there's
the Rings.
Because it
also
looks very authentic.
There's also 2 different sizes for the Hobbit houses. One is built 60% to human height. Another one is built 80% to human height. So when Elijah Wood goes in, or Martin Freeman goes in, he's going in an 80%. So it looks like it's Hobbit sized. Whereas when Gandalf goes in, he's going in a 60%.
Oh my God.
I love
that's
filmmaking.
So cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah. And I
Did
will
you
tell
go into
like,
both of them?
Huh?
Were you able to go
You
into-
can only go into 2
Yeah.
at the very end.
Okay.
And they were specially built for tourists.
Were they
Sorry.
there 80%, 60%?
80%.
85%.
A side note, the other thing I did this weekend of our lazy weekend is I finished the series with Steve,
The Lord of the Rings.
friend of the podcast, Steve. We watched the 4.5 hour extended version of Return of the King.
I was in the office and they were watching it in the living room and I'm like, okay, I went through like 12 episodes of Desiccated Survivor and I get out and I was like, you're still watching this? Like, it's not, I was like, they haven't even gone to fucking Mordor.
But what I love about those is like that forced perspective, and like they actually built a lot of the stuff.
So they
And
told
I loved
us
it.
when you see in the first movie, when you see Gandalf and Frodo riding in the carriage, they're not riding side by side.
Right.
Like Frodo is behind him at least 3 meters, and the way they shot it makes it look like they're side by side. But if you look, they never look at each other
yeah.
because they can't.
Oh, I love filmmaking.
What? It's so crazy.
crazy?
Yeah.
But the way they shoot it, it looks like they're together.
Together in
Yes.
smaller, that's how they
It's
got
forced
the-
perspective.
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yes. See?
So some of the crazy things they did on this set when they were doing, they tried to be as true to the book as possible.
Okay.
And when the book describes Hobbiton, there are plum trees all over the place. Well, a real plum tree would be too large for the scale. So they're actually planted in that grove apple trees, which are smaller.
Okay.
And they literally went through and stripped off the leaves and the fruit and painted, like, put fake plums and
Oh my
leaves
God.
on those
Really?
trees for what amounted to minutes of screen time.
Wow.
Yeah.
But just to be authentic, because they said if
love
we
it.
didn't do it, someone who's a
Would
fan
know.
of that would have been
Was
like,
said
writing
something.
about-
Well, and then they had a giant tree, and they put they created this tree for a scene, and then they knew they were going to need it again, and so but the leaves started turning a weird color because it was fake, but the leaves started turning color, and they needed to be green. So every once in a while, they have grad students come in who then paint every single leaf.
Oh my god!
Individually,
grad students.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like,
labor.
this is what I'm researching is leaf painting.
But
Probably production design.
I will say I was very impressed with it. I thought it was a great tour. So if
I would
you
love to
are
do it,
thinking
yes.
about going, do the Hobbiton tour. It is a necessary thing.
Yeah.
You can go on your own. You don't have to do. When you want to go there, you can drive on your own, but you have to do a tour.
Okay.
Like you can only go on tours.
I was going to ask how far from like...
Yeah, so
It's about 2 hours.
2 hour drive.
Oh wow!
That was the bus, right? You guys took
Correct.
the bus up to this
Yeah,
thing.
we took a bus and we got up at like 4:30 in the morning
Oh,
to be
God.
picked up by 4:45, which I will tell you was early, but actually it was super nice because even just driving in the morning where like the fog was coming in, it felt like we were going to Mordor.
and you got like the
Liza
sunrise.
Wait, Liza Minnelli.
I know.
we got up for a 6 o'clock call time. I mean, but we were still used to.
But we had to be there
like
like 5:40 or so. Like
Yeah, like-
yeah.
It was early. It was
Oh wait,
early.
because what's the time difference?
2 hours between
Oh.
Melbourne and
That's
so
Right.
crazy.
Oh, so you gained 2 hours,
Yeah.
Yes. So
Okay.
we lost 2 hours.
so you went back. Or, I don't know. It's like going East Coast
I
to
feel
West
like
Coast.
Huey Lewis right now.
West Coast to East Coast.
I'm gonna
Oh.
go back in time. Like this is.
Okay.
So we got up early, and I would suggest to anyone if you're gonna do a tour for this, like, do the morning tour
Okay.
because it's nice. It's still very like the weather is nice. It's not as hot,
And you're back before.
and
like,
you're back
3.
before 4
Oh,
o'clock
that's not
or
bad.
so.
So you get your evening to have like a
Right.
little nap and then dinner.
and then you get there before the cruise ships get in.
and the kids and all of the children.
Right. We didn't have any kids on. Oh, we had one kid on ours. Yeah. But so and then you get at the end you get a drink at the Green Dragon Inn. So you can choose like an IPA or stout.
They had beer, they had cider, and then they had a couple non-alcoholic.
Right.
Is the what am I trying to say? Are beverages served warm like in Europe?
No,
it's
that was
cold.
very
Cold. Okay, good.
Very cold.
Okay.
Thank God, because I was like, I could not have drank that cider if it was
And
warm.
you could buy other food, so we had like a meat
Oh.
pie. And it was amazing.
That we had a meat pie and a scone, and they were both
A what?
a scone.
RuPaul.
Oh wait, no. What was that girl's name? Victoria Scone.
Victoria scone.
Scone. But she was gone.
But
So
it-
so my
the meat pie
New
was delicious.
Zealander, my New Zealander is watch your head. When you're getting in the van, they say, "Watch your head. Watch your head."
How's your head, hon?
But it's like head.
Not
H-I-D.
compliance.
Yeah, and then on the way back from there, we stopped at a small little town and got some of the best ice cream we've had that had hokey pokey in it,
Ooh.
which is like their.
Did you turn yourself around?
Yeah, they got some more.
Hell yeah.
Because it's like honeycomb is what they call hokey pokey.
Ooh.
So I loved it, and we had some really good dinners there. I had an amazing lamb dish one time, and then we did Waiheke Island. If you think about going, please go. I will suggest that you utilize either one of the taxi services or utilize the public transportation or hop on, hop off. Because when we got there, we're like, oh, the winery is less than a mile away. We can walk. It'd be great.
I love a good walk.
Well, it started raining.
Oh no.
And then the sidewalk went out, so now we're walking in like the dirt on the side of the road.
And it was pretty steep, like big.
And it's big hills. So while we're walking, this guy stops and he's like, "Hey, are you guys going to Mudbrick?" And we're like, "Yeah." He's like, "Do you want to ride?" And we're like, "Oh my god, yes."
He was an employee in the restaurant.
Was he
yeah.
Okay, I was gonna ask you, is this like how this is like the setup of a horror movie?
That or
Hey, do you need a
porn.
ride?
Or a porn.
or porn.
Hey boys, you need a ride to the winery.
He's from France.
France, working in the restaurant.
Yeah.
And we gave him good ratings, 5 stars.
Yeah, he did. And he did. So, please know, another tip for you is when you go to a different country, learn how to make a phone call from that country.
What do you mean?
We were like trying to call a cab because they don't have Uber on the island, on Waiheke Island.
Oh.
So we were trying to call a cab, and it took us like 10 minutes.
Well, we should say Uber thinks they have drivers on the island. There are no drivers.
There are
on
no
the island.
drivers on the
That's
island.
like
Uber's
Europe,
looking
yeah.
forever for a rider, and you go, okay, this is
Yep,
gonna
that was like when I was in France. I'm like, there's no Uber here.
But like, and we also spent 10 minutes trying to figure out how to make a phone call to call a taxi.
Our phones, we got that international plan from Verizon, which was great, and we're really glad we did it that way. But it was just like the trick of when you're in the country, what numbers do you include or not include?
Yeah.
And so
Because you have to like dial like a plus. I know it's like a plus.
if you're calling outside that country, but if you're in that country, it's a little different.
Oh, see, I
Right.
wouldn't have known.
So it's just like every country's different. You can look it up. We finally figured it out.
Right. And so, like, but again, it's like, know how to do that before you go.
I wouldn't have
That's a
known
great
how to do
tip. We went to a couple of different wineries, which were great. There was one winery that we did want to go to, but we couldn't. But it ended up great because we were walking through downtown Waiheke, and Andy's found a wine place that was actually tasting that
wine.
particular wine
That's cool.
vineyard
So I got to
for
try it
free.
for free.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. We also did, after that, we met some great people. We were talking to a woman on the ferry heading over and back. She was super fun and super nice.
I will tell you that we met some really cool people all across the trip. But like one night in Melbourne, we met three young people who were there for like a soccer match from Sydney, and
That's cool.
20-somethings. They were awesome.
Yeah.
Just had a great conversation because we were sitting like at a communal table in a restaurant, and they were just super fun. And then we met the woman from the UK that was living in Auckland, in Auckland, and she was delightful. I think her and Claire would get along really well.
I think so too. We also met a couple on the Hobbiton tour who were from Florida.
Of course.
And his wife was okay with talking to us, but he was not.
You ever have someone you know they're really uncomfortable with the fact that you're gay?
Because they probably voted for Trump.
Yeah, probably.
That was like when I was in Paris, and there were these two. It was an older couple, and it was a man and a woman, and they were like, "We're from Florida," and I was like, "Oh," and I like shut down because same sort of thing. I didn't like shut down, but I was
Joe
like,
put on his straight.
Oh
nose.
no, we didn't shut down.
His
We
bro
actually
was,
like.
Hey.
it's like
We actually
bonjour.
We actually
How about
were
those
like talking to them even more. Like,
Oh, but
You
they
double
then
down?
came out and said they hate Ron DeSantis. I was like, "Bitch, let's talk."
Well, and you know, the woman was lovely. She was we were just chatting, like waiting for our bus to come. But Paul and I, at the end, we were talking to each other, like, did you get a sense that he was really uncomfortable?
Really?
And then later, they happened to be staying at the hotel where the restaurant was. We were going to.
Oh,
dinner
how
that night.
funny! Did you see
And
them?
They were going to show up, and we were like, oh, they're not going to show up.
thank God. She would have ruined my lamb.
With racism.
So, and then our last night there, we went out and did some stuff, and then we went to a
Night market.
underground night market in like a suburb of Auckland.
What does that even mean?
I mean, in the basement of a parking garage at
a shopping mall.
At a shopping mall, they opened it up so it's like a swap meet.
That's cool.
Okay,
Like-
I thought I was thinking medieval night,
Oh no,
like
It's-
KNIGHT.
Night
no,
market.
night market. So it's like it's just a bunch of stalls of people selling stuff
Oh,
and
that's
food
cool.
and everything. So it was-
Underground?
yeah, underground.
Ooh.
It was kind of fun. It was different. It was very local.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can get on board. Did you guys find any?
That's
Was it kind of like
awesome.
not a flea market, but
And it was
similar?
kind of like a flea market. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just people putting out their stuff.
Any cool
to sell it,
things?
you know, some fake purses and stuff. A Gucci if you wanted to buy one.
Gucci.
A Louis Vuitton if you wanted.
I love Chanel.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Did you have a question?
I was gonna ask you guys: do you travel with like currency, cash, when you go to other countries, or do you stick to like?
So this is where we differ.
I'm a cash. I'm a currency.
This is where we differ. Me and Andy.
I
I want to see where we differ
yeah.
because I want to see who's irate.
So what is
I
it?
agree
I
with.
always believe that when you get there, it used to be I would always exchange money before I go.
Yeah.
About $50 or $100, in the local
Just so you
currency.
have something. Emergency money.
Because when I was a young student going to Italy, I got there and the banks were closed for siesta. Like they're kind of
God
middle of the
damn
day nap, and
Yeah.
I couldn't get any money. And I actually depended on a guy that was a student in Michigan sharing a cab with me, and I paid him back later. Like otherwise, I'd be stuck waiting hours for the bank to open. But that, nowadays with ATMs, it's not as big a deal.
Because the ATMs there, you can get money out and
Yes.
But I
It
will
is a better
say,
way to do and when you're going to ATMs in foreign countries, go to the banks themselves, not
Yeah.
the ATMs that are set up on.
well,
streets.
it's just like here.
I don't cash. I just because after COVID, everything is Apple Pay. So I'm with Paul on this.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I'm a fan
Nick,
of like
Nick is
having-
like, oh, we're in Mexico City. I need to get $200, and I was like, live your
Yeah.
life, be free. I'm not doing that. I got my Apple Pay.
There was only one place the whole time we were in Australia that was cash only.
Right, and it's so rare. It's so rare.
But I'm
now.
the same way in New York City. I want to have a couple $100 in
Nope.
cash.
But New York is a little bit more because there's a lot, like in our tipping culture, like you'll use cash for tipping and stuff
Yeah.
in places where there, no one's tipping.
Right.
Like, like even,
Unless it's a cow.
yeah. But even like
Do that in
the
Wyoming.
tour guides, normally in the U.S., somebody gives you a great tour, you give them some money.
Yeah, like
We
just
did-
some cash.
We did not have New Zealand dollars at all.
Well, do they do the tipping culture there?
No.
No. And even if there is a place that does tipping, it's like you get the choices are 5%, 10%, and 15%.
Interesting. Not 15, 20, and 30.
Or no, 18, 20,
Oh, yeah,
25.
whatever it is.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
That was something that was interesting when I was in Europe because I felt so weird. Like, I'm like, can I tip you? And they're like, well, you don't have to. And I was like, but like,
They're
can
never going
I?
to say no.
Right. Well, because it's all like they pay their like workers a livable wage.
That's what the guys from Sydney,
Yeah.
the one guy that we were talking to in Melbourne that was from Sydney, he works as a bartender manager
Yeah.
for a golf club. And he's like, they just pay me a great wage, so nobody
Wow.
tips.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's so I feel like it's more uncomfortable on us than them because we're like,
but when you
don't
go
wanna
into a
tip?
store, like or a restaurant, and it's like that drink is 15 Australian dollars, which we were converting to like be about $11.
Yeah, that's not
money.
bad.
That includes tax, tip, service, the 4% surcharge for like that's. all you pay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
When you
That's
break it down like
nice.
that,
Yeah.
food's really cheap.
That's not bad.
Everything's really
Yeah.
We're moving.
And another tip for you guys is when you're in a different country and the conversion rate is in favor of the dollar, and you have a choice of either at the checkout to do either USD or whatever the amount is in that country's currency, do it in that country's currency.
Yes, because
always.
they'll
Always.
overcharge you. They will
Always.
overcharge you if you do the dollar.
Yes.
They'll give you a high conversion rate.
Correct. So, little tip for you guys.
That's why I always just do it in. That's why when you pay credit, it's just already included.
So, we ended up coming back to through LAX, and so we didn't get upgraded on the flight.
I was gonna
and-
ask. So, you guys, so they didn't. So did
was
you
unsuccessful.
Did you get your bid back?
Oh, you don't pay it. if
You don't pay anything. They don't charge you
Oh.
until it's successful.
Okay, thank God, because I was
But
like, that would suck.
It was a full flight, so it's like.
Oh, but you had your bid upgraded economy, right?
Wait, we had premium economy, and we
Okay.
were on the bulkhead, so we had a lot of space. And there was like a guy that was sitting next to us who had to be like 6'4", 6'5", who even though he had premium economy was still a little bit didn't have as much leg room
really?
because he was between rows, and I was like, sucks
Sucks
to
for
be you.
you.
Look at my legs.
Plan accordingly, bitch.
Fully outstretched. So the flight was fine, and then we get back, and I was like, I told Andy, I'm like, okay, well, you're gonna have to go in that customs line. I'm going over here into global entry.
Bye, poor person.
Which was like, I put my passport in, it checked it took my picture. I go walk towards the guy, and he's like, Paul, and I'm like, yep. He's like, good, all right, and that was it. And so Andy had to wait in line. But the cool thing was,
There's a happy ending to this story.
yes, there is a happy ending.
While Andy was in Australia, he got notice that his global entry was finally freaking approved.
That's just like me. Oh.
Yeah. And so in LA, we were looking to make an appointment. You couldn't get an appointment until December 24th in San Diego.
So crazy.
Yeah.
Like that
Merry
was the
Christmas
first
Eve to
available
you.
appointment.
But you did entry on arrival, right?
So when I went on arrival, there's a separate line you can go in. and they processed it. It took like 5 minutes. It was silly.
So they didn't grill you on your life?
They didn't tell me on my life. They were very.
That was just you.
Very cursory questions.
I guess I'm
You
just
look, maybe it's just the way you look, Joe.
I mean, girl, I looked a mess. I was awake for 24 hours at that point, so they were probably like, "This might be a terrorist."
But that was our trip, and like I will say, there are some things that during that time I was like, I missed about things that I have, and then some things that made our life so much easier. Like Global Entry made coming back so much easier, and I don't know what I did before that.
I haven't used it yet, so I want to just
it
go
was
somewhere.
so nice. Like
I want to go to
LAX.
I want to go to Puerto Vallarta just for like a weekend, so that I can come back and get like global
and go
entry.
really fast.
Yeah, and be like, "Goodbye, bitch, it's me."
I told Andy, I'm like, I'll meet you at baggage claim.
See ya.
And so,
Paul's fantasy of Global Entry is that like fireworks go off.
Yes.
Welcome home, Paul.
But did you feel nervous because you're like, "Oh my god, I'm going through customs. I might have a bomb." Like,
No.
I
never
know.
think those
Like,
things.
listen. Every time I walk through the TSA line, or every time I walk through like a metal detector, I'm like, "What if it goes off?"
well, no, but like I didn't feel like that. But like we were in the airport, I was like, Andy, can I buy this? Or are they just like, do I need to declare this? And I'm like, I don't want to declare anything. Like I'd be.
New Zealand was hypersensitive about bringing in any kind of plants or any.
That
was
makes
like
sense.
A list of things that were prohibited.
Horticulture, yeah.
Even things like sporting goods, like golf clubs, you have to declare all that, and they have to inspect it.
Yeah, because you can't because if you went hiking or used it and it has dirt or something on it, you can't bring it in because it will affect because it's an island, so they don't want to take any chances.
Yeah.
Affect their delicate ecosystem.
Oh,
And hoof and mouth disease was really big right then. They had a surge on that. That's what they were talking about.
Oh, cool.
Like it was on the
But
rise.
there
and
were
stuff.
dogs, like where we have drug dogs, there were dogs going among the people getting their luggage, like they're trained to sense like organic things, like fruits and vegetables.
no
and
shit.
foods.
They did a good job during COVID too. They locked that.
They
shit
locked
down.
that shit down.
Yeah.
But I will say when we got to New Zealand, the first time when we were traveling to Australia, somehow I set the metal detector off, even though I didn't have anything on me. And then the guy had to pat me down, and so
Yeah.
they can detect exactly where supposedly they need to check. And with me, it was my butt. And so he had to like really fill me up, and I'm like, "Oh, I love the New Zealand welcome."
Okay, but did you get stopped? So it was only when you went into New Zealand?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't have to worry about it after.
I must look like I'm like a terrorist or something
Yes,
because
Abdul, you do.
I got
watched you
stopped.
walk in the airport.
No, I got stopped in. Stop it! I got stopped in Spain, going on the way back. I got stopped in Paris, and I got stopped in Greece.
Are you on a no-fly list?
I guess so.
They just wanted to fill your package.
You're too fit. You see, the problem is you can run away. If you get more or less fit, a little bit bigger, they're like, "Oh, you're not a danger."
All
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
That'll be my bear era.
There you
My bear era.
But like that did make me think like Global Entry made my life a little bit easier. So it's
Yeah.
like things that I like, and when we were in Australia and in New Zealand, I was like, oh my god, I miss our bidet.
I was okay when you were talking about that. I started writing down a list of things, and I was like, "Wow, there's a lot of stuff." That I
There's a
miss
lot
when
of
I'm
stuff.
home, when I'm not home.
Right. It's like, but even when you're traveling, things that make it easier. Like we use Apple Maps for everything,
Right.
and like we use public transportation, so it would tell us, "Hey, there's a bus coming. You need to get over to this station, station 15, spot zone A, and take this train heading
Oh,
in this
wow.
direction."
It'll
Yeah.
be there in 4 minutes.
It'll be there in 4 minutes. When you
Wow.
get off, you need to walk
Crazy.
700 feet to this place. And it's like, oh, this is amazing. And you can even watch it in real time on your map as you're going, so you know exactly when you're...
What?
But-
Because Google Maps, I maybe don't know how to read it, but Google Maps says something similar, but it doesn't. It's not user intuitive for me.
Oh, see, now, like, the cool thing is when you're using Apple Maps, your little dot, when it's on there, it has, like, a ray that comes out of it that tells you what direction you're facing.
That's what I
So
need.
so you know which way you should be going.
That's absolutely what I need.
And that's how we would do it. We'd have it down there, and we'd be like,
You'd be like, where do I go?
Oh, we're supposed to go this way. Yeah, I know. It's very Star Trek.
Yeah,
It's
I love
improved
that.
a lot even over the years since we went to Italy, because in Florence we had our one travel like spat, if you will. Was we could not get from the train station to the damn hotel. We couldn't find which train line.
Oh, no.
Because there were,
That's my
but
biggest
also
nightmare.
Florence had like 3 of the same ones, but it was like
different
letters, and also it was raining.
Oh no!
So it's like a whole like firestorm of things that
Everything that could go wrong. Did.
So Joe does maps differently than everybody else.
Oh,
Because you know how like you can orient it to be basically like it on Apple Maps. If you want that direction thing to be like when you're looking at your phone, I want it to be like this pointed this direction.
Yeah.
No, Joe wants the map to be oriented north, east, southwest. And if I'm walking,
because I need to
if
know
I'm
the
walking
XY
this
Cartesian
direction,
coordinates.
and that might mean on the map you're moving in a southeast direction, even though I'm like, Joe, I think your life would be a lot easier if you just push the button that's like you're going the right direction, and when you get there it'll tell you left or right. Because we'll be in the car sometimes and he'll be like, oh yeah, I missed that, and you're like, well, if you just would have pushed the
the go button and just let it do its thing.
Yeah, but I think that's our brains work differently. So,
and that also reminds me of Bertha, Brenda, my fucking navigation system, who sucked. So I have like trauma from that way of navigating.
But it was nice to have that because it told you exactly everything you needed to know, and it was actually like exact too. Even if the train was delayed, it knew, and it would even tell you not crowded, that kind of thing. So
yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So Apple Maps is the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said, I miss my bidet because nowhere that we stayed had a bidet in it. And
Oh, really?
Just
That's surprising.
So you just had a nasty ass the whole trip.
Exactly. I was like, I have to wipe continuously?
Okay.
What is that about?
and after you've been a bidet expert, after you've been acquainted with bidets, like wiping your butt is an effort.
It is.
Like, because you're like, oh, I like have to really try, and
We
it's
all
like
have our burdens to bear.
right.
Oh my
and then you're
God.
like, the fucking hotel like toilet paper sucks,
This is modern day problem.
and then it's like I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna shower, and like
That's why I bring baby wipes everywhere I go.
that's why your nickname's Baby Wipes.
Hey, I did bring I brought a package of them.
Flushable wipes.
Yes, exactly. I brought some of those with us.
I bring them everywhere I
But
go.
see, that's another thing. Like, we didn't have those, like, you
When
thought
you were-
baby
yeah.
wipes were, like, you know, even 10, 15 years ago, like, baby wipes, I think you didn't have flushable wipes. Or
Right.
if you did, you didn't know
Yep.
there weren't that many out there. Now you have 15,000 varieties of them.
Yep.
And you take them with you and put them in your little bag, and you take them
Yeah.
with you when you go out of the country.
Yeah, because you can carry
Like,
those on.
Did you
too.
guys down in Australia and New Zealand? What's like the tap water like? Like, can you drink it?
Delicious.
Because when we went to Mexico, it's like you can't drink
Yeah,
it.
we don't
Oh,
drink-
yeah,
Don't
no,
drink
no,
the
no.
water.
No,
It
they,
depends on the country.
But I feel like that's something we also take for granted here. Is like it might not be like great or tasty, but if you want,
but you can drink it without getting dysentery.
Yes. Correct.
New Zealand was actually really good.
Really?
You didn't notice
Nice.
any kind of...
I mean, the best is actually in Italy because, like, they're
Coming from the Swiss Alps.
Yeah, like you can
Yeah,
just go
I drank
anywhere.
tap water when I was in Italy.
You could drink water from any fountain that you saw in public. Like, those are
Really?
all drinkable...
It's
Yeah,
it's
that's
kind of
amazing.
strange, yeah. And then you have like Santorini, who they are like, our water's not potable, so don't drink it, and they give you bottled water for everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy, right? You think about
So
that.
I want to know, what are the delicacies that you missed when you like what did you realize when you got back? You're like, oh, I missed this.
Okay, so I miss the
Give me your
pastries.
list. You missed what?
I missed the pastries because the pastries in
From
Australia from here. What did I miss? Oh,
Like
nothing.
when you? Oh, really?
I didn't miss anything.
You don't, so like, because like when you get back from a trip, you're like, oh god, it's so nice to be in my bed. Like,
well,
nice, like
the
pillow.
bed and being back with Baxter was like
Yeah.
definitely on the high of our list. But like, and our bidet, you know, I got to use the bidet, you know, when I got back, so that was nice.
Basically.
Because I have like 10 things where I was like, I could think of more, and like the bidet is one of them. The other one is my squatty potty. So like your movements are
Very,
good.
very bowels focused
It's
right now.
bowel forward. But then for me too, it's like coffee. Like knowing where I can get coffee. And here's my thing. shit on Starbucks, shit on the places, but like knowing that I'm at home and I know where to go to get coffee, like dependably, is very relieving.
So what's really weird, both Australia and New Zealand are very coffee centric places.
Oh, okay.
But they don't just make normal brewed coffee.
Oh.
You have to get like a cappuccino or espresso.
Oh, no.
So like there's one thing called a flat white.
Yeah.
And there's
Okay.
another one called a tall black.
I've never heard
Or
of
a
the tall
long
black.
Or a long black.
black and a flat white. And
What's
I'm
a
like,
long
this is
black?
very racist right now, but okay. But I made a mistake one and asked for a tall white, and they were like, we don't know what that is.
You're like, oh. But what is it?
And
What
they're
is
like,
it?
how
latte
dare
with
you.
No foam. So
Right.
Like a tall white is like mostly espresso, mostly a lot of cream, or milk, but no foam.
Okay.
So it's flat. you
Oh,
know?
okay.
And that's what he drank a lot of.
So if you think of like cappuccino, latte, a flat
Yeah.
white would be like that spectrum.
So no foam latte, basically.
But I don't really like espresso. I just want to drip
Yeah.
like a brewed coffee. And
Okay.
so that's something I did miss there.
Interesting.
But the coffee we had was amazing.
The coffee we had was good. I will say this, like, I did miss my Starbucks, and even though we went to Starbucks in both of those, they didn't have, like, the venti size is not an American
'Cause they use
venti.
I was gonna
milliliters.
say, was it a different coffee too? Like,
Yeah.
It was a different coffee.
Yeah.
And then even when I went to just, like, pastry places or coffee houses in either one of those countries, when I say I wanted a large mocha, it was, like,
This
12
big.
ounces.
Yeah.
Like, and it was, like, it was good, but I was
The
just
world
like,
outside of
seriously?
America.
You're like, I need my large.
Yeah. I need an American size,
Yeah.
please.
Give me my 20 ounces. Thank you.
And then I also noticed, like, when I say milkshake, or I say shake, I'm like, I needed to be very specific because in Australia, I ordered a milkshake, and I'm like, is there even ice cream in this?
This is cold milk.
This is cold milk shaken with Nestle Quick or something. I don't know.
like a actual like
Like an actual
they put it
milkshake.
in a
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh my
what's
god.
it
like-
called?
A bar shaker?
Yeah, like a bar shaker.
Yes. And so, like, but when I went to Auckland, I was like, okay, I want a milkshake with a thin shake would be 2 scoops, a thick shake would be 3 scoops.
Oh.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
So you got the thick shake.
I had it once and I was like, this is still too thin.
Oh. You weren't able to do it upside down like a Dairy Queen?
No, Merle.
He's spoiled by the thickness.
Yes, exactly.
So another thing that I miss is towels that don't shed. For the love of God, everywhere I go, and I know they go through those towels ASAP, and they're like always getting new towels, so they're always new. But every fucking hotel, there's white specks from the towels.
Oh.
The linens in most of the places we stayed were amazing.
Well, then
And
I
I
just
will
am
say-
choosing the wrong locations.
I will say this though: the ones in Melbourne and the ones in Sydney were kind of small and a little bit
all the
thin.
Marriott properties were really
Melbourne was okay. I thought the JW Marriott was the best. Those towels
Well,
were
you'd hope the
thick and
J-Dubs.
plush, and I was like,
J-Dub.
yeah.
Do
love
you,
a J-Dub.
if the hotel has a bathrobe, do you wear it?
No, that was the worst. So like we had 2 in the Melbourne Docklands that we didn't wear, which we could have worn to the pool.
You should.
And then like we had one in the JW Marriott, but we never wore it. So.
That's my thing. Like, if there is a bathrobe, I will wear it. Like, even if it's been washed or whatever, I'm like, I'll wear
the
it.
place we stayed in New York, you could have requested it because I saw that they had the bathrobes, so that they weren't in our room.
Well,
So I
because
think
when I was in Europe, a lot of the places had bathrobes, and I was like, I'm a bathrobe man now. And then in Cleveland, the second time I was there, they had a bathrobe, and I was like, this is great. I don't have to dirty any clothes. I'll just wear a bathrobe. Just like after lounging, like a night shower, and you're like, I don't want to have to like put on like basketball shorts or like clothes. I'll just put on a bathrobe.
Okay.
So, yeah, I do miss like towels that don't shed. And then, lastly is Friends. And then my last one, second to last is Friends. But the last one is Andy's Baking.
Oh, gee.
well,
Because when I'm out, I'm like, when I'm not in like California or traveling, it's like, oh, I can't just be like, he made something and we're like eating it.
Okay, so can I tell you, like, the first world problem that I had when we were in Australia and New Zealand?
You may share.
Was I couldn't download some of the shows that I watch on Hulu because it wasn't available in those
In that country.
territories.
Oh,
Well,
no.
the
And the
hotel's
VPN.
Wi-Fi would not allow VPN.
Yeah.
Or the streaming channels now are getting smart to it. So
They are.
CBS, NBC, they all will be like, we do not connect through VPN, so
Right.
you have to log in.
So do you have to download everything before you go?
Before you go, you have to have enough to download. Because, like, I was like, okay, well, I'll just download a couple of episodes of Black Clover. I'll download a couple of episodes of One Punch Man. And then when I get there, I'll just download some more. Well, guess what?
You couldn't.
I couldn't because in Hulu in Australia, they don't play those shows. They also don't play Abbott Elementary. They also don't
so
do
crazy.
Will and Grace.
What?
None of those, yeah.
So then did you have anything to watch on the plane?
Well, we can watch Netflix and stuff, and then the planes had like enough stuff on there.
Okay.
And plus, I could download my comic book still. Thank God.
Okay.
So I could do that. But it was just like that's very first world problem right there. Like,
It's a stressful thing, though, and I agree with you. It's hard.
actually, that's another thing I realized I couldn't live without now was like streaming services. Like,
I know.
because like before, I would never have access to like Black Clover or different animes or even
Yeah.
just like some of the stuff that you watch now. Like, you would never have access to that. Like, if you were
Right.
just doing cable, and plus like Spotify I take for granted because like I love making playlists. And that's kind of like when we were talking about like making bird CDs and stuff like that. I started from like making mixtapes.
I feel like
from,
you would make a
off
good
the radio,
mixtape,
like
yeah.
For you to like push the record button
right after the DJ would stop
Yes.
talking, and then you
Yes.
had to make sure to stop it right before the DJ started talking
Right.
again.
Do they not have Spotify in Australia?
No, they did.
Okay.
But like, I still had to download the playlist that I wanted to listen to, just to be sure.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right, because you can't stream. Oh.
Right. So plus, I didn't want to have to stream anything over our network because I was like, I didn't know how much that we had. So
that's a good thing too. Oh shit, damn.
Yeah.
Because you guys did like the eSIM stuff, right?
we did like the plan on Verizon, but that's another thing. Like, when you were younger, you couldn't like just tell your cell phone company, "Hey, I'm going to be in a different country. I need you to like. I'll pay $10 for the
Remember when
a
it
day."
was like you were worried about I have 500 text messages this month
Oh, that was the best. And you would be like, "Oh, I can't text over. I only have 200
until 9
Right.
p.m.
Right.
9 p.m. it was unlimited.
Or you're like, I'm out of the country because I'm in Mexico and now I'm roaming.
yeah. Oh my
Turn
god.
your phone off.
Yeah, turn it off because you were worried about like that $1.99 a minute charge you were gonna get.
Exactly.
$4 per text.
Oh,
Look at us bringing it back to the old school days. And then you dial 411 and get info. Oh, those were
I
the
love
good
411.
days. My mom used to dial 411 all the time, and my dad would get mad at her because it would be so expensive.
and like when we were in there in Australia, I will say that I love the fact that they embrace self checkout. Like
Okay.
really well. Like, I mean, there's stores like Kohl's and Woolies. That's called Woolworths because we're in the know.
So they don't have a lot of theft, I'm guessing.
I don't think so because people are really.
Paul would call stores Woolies even if they weren't. They were called something else, but they were owned by Woolworths. He still called them Woolies.
Yeah, I
So-
did.
and expected everybody else to understand what
Oh my god, just like your Hobbit tour? Oh yeah, don't mind
He's
me.
on the phone with an Uber driver. He's like, I'm standing in front of Woolies. I'm like, oh, that's not what it's called.
It's called Countdown, but it's by Woolies.
Okay, Beyonce.
But like they would have like 20 or 30 self checkouts with like one or two.
So
regular
you were in
checkouts.
heaven.
I was in heaven because I'm like, I don't have to talk to anybody. Fuck yeah.
And you are a Speedy Gonzalez checkouter.
okay. I'm like,
You know the
Let's go.
barcodes, you know where to go.
and I have my Adele bag. So,
There you go.
but I will say this. Also, Andy was just saying. Okay, yeah. So when we would talk to people, I'd be like, "Oh, we're from San Diego," and Andy would be like, "California in the
Yeah.
States."
Paul assumes that everybody we encounter
Knows
where
where,
San
yeah.
Diego
And
is.
I think that is a hot tip for everyone too, because I quickly learned that when I went to Europe. They were like, "Where are you from?" I was like, "San Diego, United States, California," because people are like,
They don't care about the city. They just want to the
they're
state.
like, where, but also even like, they don't even care that you're from California. They're like, oh, USA. And then it's like, I'm from the United States. I live in California. and then I'm in like so. It's like,
Yeah, interesting.
yeah. I'm with you on that, Paul, too, because I did the same thing.
It's and you noticed it more when you were with other people from other parts of the world, because they all would say like, "Oh, we're from the UK."
Yeah, or like Germany.
We're from Germany, and
Yep.
they never got to the what part or.
Yep.
And so when we did our Sydney bridge climb, that was the first time I really noticed it, because everybody else was like, "We're from." And Paul was definitely San Diego, and I was too. And then someone else was Texas, someone else was Arizona.
Yeah.
So they were doing states, and then everyone else was like country. We're from Ireland.
Right.
But of course, then when you asked them where they were from in Ireland, they were like, "Like I had no idea."
Oh, we are at the Blarney Stone.
We're from Potatoes on Dock.
It's next to Al Groton. Right by Lucky Charms.
Sorry, Ireland.
Sorry, Irish
Sorry,
people.
Ireland.
We love you. Listen, my cousin Denise is from Ireland, so we can do it.
But also with that, the bridge climb, Andy was talking to a very cute Irish guy.
Toasted Dorbs.
He totes
Was
a
he a
door.
redhead?
His name was Paul.
Of course it was.
How
You
convenient.
mean it wasn't Seamus?
We called him Quiet Paul. Differentiate from.
It's QP.
What?
LP.
Oh, the whole group was.
But you didn't have to tell them that you were going to go and do a special thing. So
Yeah, exactly. So anyway.
Well, we're glad you're back in America.
And we're glad to be back, and we're so glad to be back together.
See
in
you.
one
Together again like
room.
Janet Jackson.
I know.
It's the second Janet Jackson reference I made today.
It's a what?
That's the second Janet Jackson reference I made today. At work, I was like, we need feedback, and I was like Janet Jackson. And no one got it.
No one got it.
And I was like,
I chuckled because I love that song.
you just need to work with me. I'm going to call you in on all of my meetings as like gay support. Like he's here to get my references. Thank you. Joe, who's this outside
like-
person? Don't worry about him.
He's my gay language interpreter.
Exactly.
He's my GLI.
All right. So I have an I Spy before we wrap up.
Oh, good.
Okay. So I'm sorry, everyone. Our intern is working on a project.
He's working to the bone.
Oh boy.
Yes! Jesus.
Jesus
These two
Christ.
homosexuals.
Okay, so what have you seen?
So today I was driving home and I saw 4 people who got out of a car and a giant tree had fallen onto the road and they were lifting it to get it out of the way. And I was like, how nice of them. I wouldn't have stopped. But
was this a residential?
No, it was like down Camino del Rio North. Like, 'cause I
So
was
not like
leaving
on the
work.
freeway.
It's not like a freeway, but it's
Okay.
like a very busy road,
Busy road,
especially
yeah.
at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, that's not
right by
safe.
Dave and Buster's.
That's not safe.
No, but it's like they picked up this large tree and tried to move it off to the sidewalk, and I'm like, that's great because I'm alone, so I'm not going to do that.
But no. You
100%.
call the police or you call the tree people.
The arbor, like it's the arborist.
Yeah, you guys had them here.
Yeah,
Years
exactly.
ago. I feel like that's unsafe. I feel like if you see a down tree or a power line, then you have to like let them do it.
Yeah, because I'm like, what if you hurt yourself trying to move this tree?
Right, and then who's liable? Is it the city?
Well, the tree looked dead.
The tree.
So,
Tree.
You know, the tree looked dead, so it could have broken apart in your hands too,
Yeah.
like into other pieces. So you just created a bigger problem.
Right.
See, this is how I think. So I'm like, I'm
with
not
you.
getting involved.
Well, I'm with you on that just because I don't want to like pick up a tree.
One more little tidbit for people to tune into if they listen all the way to the end of the episode. What was the YouTube we watched with the deaf performer?
Oh, there is a from Broadway Cares. They did
Broadway
a
Backwards.
Broadway Backwards. They did a version of Listen by from Dreamgirls, but it was with a deaf performer and a hearing performer, and it was about a mom not wanting to accept her gay son who was also deaf.
Oh fuck!
She was
amazing.
It made us cry. We watched it right before we went to bed. So
Okay.
it was like,
I'll watch it.
so. And then one more thing, because I have another I Spy.
Well, you have been seeing.
But I was like, I don't know if I brought this up last time or not, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. Is if you're in the bathroom in a public restroom, do not take a phone call and put it on speaker for everybody else to hear.
Oh my god,
Or
that sounds so
maybe
great.
just don't take a phone call.
Right. And
Let's start with that. Like, you don't, first and foremost, you don't need to be in the phone or on the phone in the bathroom.
Oh my god, I did this like 2 days ago.
Yeah,
Did you in a
Nick,
public restroom?
Did you really?
But I was
Nick is on the
but
phone.
I was on in my AirPods.
Okay.
But
I
I was
don't care.
I was peeing on the urinal and I put myself on mute while I was peeing.
I would hang up the
To
phone and say,
listen.
I will call
That
you
was
back.
good.
And then was washing my hands and they were like, What are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm just washing my hands.
Well, see, for me, I'm like this. I went into this
boy.
restroom, and a guy was on the phone on speaker.
Oh my god, no.
Was
in
he
the
in the
public
John?
restroom, in the John,
Oh my
sitting down.
God.
So I was like, God, please let me, when I sit down on this toilet, I'd have to fart really loud because I just want to mess this up so bad. And don't think for a second that people don't know you're in the bathroom because it sounds different. when you
It
talk.
does.
Oh, girl!
The echo.
If you can't tell someone's shitting, you need to check yourself. Because I'm sorry, in what world does your home echo?
Exactly.
Did you move into a new home?
I've got
Yeah.
great acoustics in my museum room.
And that flushing, don't mind it. It's just the background noise that I have for the
It's
dogs.
my waterfall.
No, that's when you learn how to mute. I am really good at taking calls. in
You
the
are not
bathroom.
good at mute because you are a boomer. You'd be like, oh, I thought I was muted. Oops, my bad. You'll be like Vivek Ramaswamy when he was
Do not
being
compare me to
interviewed.
that
No, he
gentleman.
was being interviewed. You're not Vivek Ramaswamy, but he was being interviewed, and then he went to the bathroom and he didn't mute himself
Oh boy.
Oh my God.
on Fox Live.
Oh, well, it's Fox News, so it's fine.
Which I'm like,
Shitty shit.
right.
Shitty shit.
I'm glad you saw all those things because I haven't really left the house today, so I haven't been able to see. So you're seeing for us.
Well, I'm going to go finish laundry, and so everybody have a great week. Thanks.
Special thanks to Andrew Smith and Nick Stone for producing the show. If you like us, please follow us at tugayspod on Instagram and visit us online at tugayspod.com. You can find us anywhere you can stream podcasts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know topics you'd like to hear. And always remember, stay safe, stay classy, stay sassy, and always stay a little bit trashy. See you next week.